If any of you have watched certain Liberal politicians recently, you'll notice that they're starting to do something anytime that they are presented with a fact that counters their narrative. So, for example, if somebody stands in the House of Commons and asks them a question about something that's in a Parliamentary Budget Office report or is just right out in a bill, they'll stand up in the House of Commons and they'll try to gaslight their opposition, and they'll say that they're spreading misinformation. And this is happening more and more. This has happened twice this week, particularly with the Liberals' ban on certain hunting rifles, as well as with the Liberal carbon tax. But it's not just politicians that are doing this sort of gaslighting using the term misinformation. Now, misinformation is a big problem. But when institutions that are charged with sort of trying to get some public trust on the issue actually gaslight people that are presenting them with facts as misinformation spreaders, it's a big problem. It's not just politicians doing this. Many of you have been following the release of some information from the social media platform Twitter, where it was found that in spite of the platform's protestations that they weren't suppressing certain accounts with certain political viewpoints, that there is evidence now that they were doing that. I know that social media accounts, platforms like this, like Twitter, like others, they do use algorithms to either upvote or downvote content. And so I'm trying to communicate with you in as many different ways as possible so that you can see the work I'm doing as a member of Parliament on your behalf. So I wrote a blog this week. It's a newsletter. And it talks about all of these instances of where you see particularly Liberal politicians recently using the terms misinformation to gaslight people that are presenting them with facts that counter this narrative. The link to this post is in the video description. Just take a minute this morning or whenever you're watching this and click this link. And the other thing I just ask is if you'd subscribe to this newsletter, because that allows me to get around any sort of shadow bans or whatnot. Particularly with the Liberal government introducing bills that may, likely affect what you see in social media algorithms or in online streaming algorithms too. It's just really important that folks like me have all sorts of different tools to communicate with you. So just take a minute, click on the link to this article, and it explains this concept a little bit more, and also just hit subscribe after you read it. Also share this video. I think it's really important for people to be listening for this when they're listening, particularly to senior leaders like Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, when he gets on the stage and is asked a question, either by an opposition member or even a member of the media, saying, like, for example, like, why have the Liberals chosen to ban hunting bans? And he's like, well, the Conservatives are spreading misinformation. It's like, no, actually, it's right in the bill for you to see. These are hunting rifles and you are banning them. It just really, I think, serves to erode public trust in government institutions. And we need to send a message that this isn't acceptable. It's not acceptable to gaslight people by saying that they're spreading information when they found a fact that either counters a political narrative or shows incompetence in the government. So share this video. Again, click on the link in the video feed, have a read through this article, and subscribe. It gives me another tool to communicate with you directly in case you might not see this in your feed. Working hard for you in Ottawa. Have a great day.